Hi y'all, it is the Southern Belle from Hell here, and today I have a really beautiful, exotic New Mexico inspired build. This is for my 50 States Build Challenge, but also I used a very similar, almost exact design for my Love Struck mini series I'm doing. But aesthetically, this house is meant to be smaller. So I kind of saved the more perfected look for this build challenge. Um, it's going to be not a tiny home, but it's pretty small. Um, I had this idea in my mind of like this really cute, beautifully decorated. You could tell it's an older house, but it's been modernized over the years and things like that. It's really only big enough for one sim or a couple, and I just really had fun with this build and using all sorts of vibrant colors. I had this idea in my mind to have a split level house and to have a gorgeous backyard and really embrace all the vibrant colors, because I mean, you have to have a design in mind to use all these bright colors I'm going to be using. Now, in the other house for Love Struck, the outside is yellow. So in this build, I decided to have it a more Pueblo look, because I really wanted the outside to look pretty traditional, but the inside to look more modernized and have it look like it's something that isn't necessarily like a period piece. And I'm using this color scheme of like this dark, beige, yellow, and teal. I just think those colors go really good together. I liked playing around with this color scheme. And right now I'm trying to map out the backyard because in my mind, this backyard is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm trying to make that come to life. So I wanted to have this hot tub kind of in the pool and decorated with all of these, beautiful rocks and shrubbery and all sorts of stuff that make it feel more realistic, like it's this natural pool that just happens to be in this backyard. I made a little short out of how I did this if you guys want to check it out. It's the same thing you're watching here. This has a little bit more detail of how I built it. And yeah, it's super easy. It just takes a little bit of practice, just working with different tools and stuff. But I knew I wanted to have, this roof with these overhanging plants in the front and backyard, because I felt like, even though this house is small, the, outside of the house, that is what, the Sims really spend most of their time in. They're swimming, they're grilling, like they're doing outside activities and stuff. They're out and about in Ciudad and Emirado. They're enjoying all the stuff that the city has to offer. And if you haven't gotten the Love Struck pack, Ciudad and Emirado, I finally have a family in the city, and it's so much, like, there's so much fun stuff to do. I really, really enjoy the city and kind of like everybody's little storylines and stuff. So this lot used to be where the Mansion de la Passion, if I butchered that, I am so sorry. It's where like that house used to be on the map, and I just bulldozed it down. And what I really liked about it was this really beautiful stone fence that's already around the lot, and we have that fence in the debug menu. So I knew I could like fence this place off without it looking out of place, if that makes sense. So right now I'm just having like two entrances, one from, I guess the backyard, and then also, into the front space. And of course, I have to use the garden stones. I love these garden stones. They just look so realistic. And the little planter boxes are from the debug menu. And I'm just using Tool to make sure like it's placed, perfectly in those corners. And I had this idea in mind because I feel like, especially when there's a lot of greenery on a lot, the cacti look so out of place. If y'all hear a dog, I am so sorry. Roy has not been able to shut up this morning. This is actually my third time trying to record. And he got quiet for a little bit, so I was like, oh, okay, I finally have my chance. But never mind. So I'm using different plants. These plants are from, I believe, either Journey to Batu or Jungle Adventure. I'm not entirely sure. I use a lot of plants from Journey to Batu. And Jungle Adventure, I use that kit a lot with Love Struck. That's the 3 packs that kind of make up this whole build. With the pool area, I use a lot of like Get Together and Riverside, no, not Riverside, Riviera Retreat. I don't know why I always want to think of Riverside. And with the plants and like the shrubs, I just lift it and just kind of build underneath so that it looks like, more full and that it's growing upwards. And I really like the vibrancy of the orange and the yellow. It reminded me of, marigolds, and I just really liked how bright those plants were. And I'm just fixing up this area with the cliff rocks so it's not sticking out, through the fence. And using Riviera Retreat's little grotto waterfalls, I'm just, kind of sizing them down and making it look like this waterfall is just, flowing into each other. And to make it just look more natural, I'm adding all of these rocks, and I just, place them right on top of each other and move them at different angles so that it doesn't look so repetitive. And I do that throughout this entire build. They say that less is more. I did not go by that. I used so many rocks, hundreds of rocks, and it's the same kind of rock, just in different angles. I kind of speed up this process a little bit faster than the rest of the build, just because it took such a long time. But I wanted to show you guys, how detailed I went with these rocks. It took a while. I'm not ashamed to admit how much time I spent with these friggin' rocks. But it ended up, I think, just looking gorgeous, and it felt like something, like a natural spring that just happens to be in your backyard. I really wanted this to be like an area where, your Sims can throw get-togethers and different parties, and, this is also like a romantic little woohoo spot. And I didn't put a whole lot of shrubbery around the jacuzzi because this particular jacuzzi already has like some plants, and I didn't want it to look, too different, like it wouldn't match. So I just put like a couple of ferns here and there. And now we're doing like the furniture, and I wanted it to just look like it matches. So I kind of stick with this cream color, beige, brown, and it had like these green little cushions in it. And I thought, oh, that's perfect. And the coffee table that, lights up and has a little fire built in. the backyard is just like my favorite part of this build. I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Right now I'm just putting down different plant decor from, you know, the decorations menu. Again, like I use a lot of Journey to Batu and Jungle Adventure. I think I use Eco Living as well on a few things, not a whole lot. And from Courtyard Oasis, I found these lights that look so beautiful at night when they're lit up around the pool. I liked that a lot better than the other outdoor light selections. So I decided to use this piece. I know it's supposed to be like technically a roof decor, but I decided to put it above the windows and just size it down with tulle and just, you know, kind of manipulate it a little bit so that it looks like a window decoration. And I felt like it just gave something a little bit extra to the outside decor of this house and, you know, look more elegant. And I was so proud of it. I put this on every area where I have more than one window. I think I have more than one window in every area except for the two little windows by the front door. And yeah, I was so proud of this. You can't tell, like I really enjoyed this build, and I really liked you know, just using all of these pieces that I don't normally get to use, because I usually build suburban houses and I'm trying to kind of get out of that, because you know, you kind of get used to doing the same things and your builds start to look, you know, repetitive. So getting out of that, all that stuff, even though it's enjoyable, it kind of looks the same. So right now I'm just leveling off different areas. I wanted to have like these long steps that go into the bedroom. And this is a pretty open house. Like there technically isn't, like it's technically just one room. One really big room that's just sectioned off with, you know, little bits and pieces. I struggled a little bit with these windows. I knew I wanted a window divide from the bedroom into the bathroom, and I decided to just stick with these because it still kind of gave me the modern look I was going for, and I wanted to have the shower a little bit dropped from, you know, the rest of the room. And I decided to lift up the kitchen. So yeah, this is definitely different levels happening in this house, but I think it turned out like just really modern and kind of fitting with the other decor pieces that aren't so traditional in the Love Struck pack. Let me know your thoughts. I'm just filling y'all in on why I chose to do certain things. I tried to use as many things as I could from the Love Struck pack just to show you guys, like, you know, different things you could do with it. But I wish they would have given us counters. There are no Love Struck counters. I mean, I know we have, you know, a ton from different, you know, other packs and stuff like that, but you know, I was kind of like, what could go with, you know, this beautiful tile that comes with the pack, or you know, these different wall swatches and things like that. And like it would have been nice to have gotten, you know, like counter swatches as well. But I have these, and it kind of fits in with you know, that creamy beige color I'm going for. And I decided to kind of be on the light side of decor in the kitchen area and the living area. I wanted to have, you know, some whites here and there, and you know, just kind of accent the beige and give your eyes a break from so much beige. But I love the tiles. I love the little, you know, vibrancies of, you know, blue, and there's different swatches, you know, with brilliant emerald green. It's just really lovely. Since this is a small kitchen, I decided to use these shelves, and I put, just different little clutter pieces, that's off the counter, but still give this kitchen, some type of style. And I decided to put this decor item with the pots and pans and make it look like it's hanging off the counter space. I use certain things from the Dine Out stuff pack, because I started kind of getting this scenario, like I always do when I'm building, of maybe this sim that lives here is a cook. Maybe they own a popular restaurant in town, and when people come over, that sim likes to entertain them. And I wasn't gonna put a fireplace in here, but I thought this fireplace just looked so perfect. I didn't really want to, because I was thinking, like, Ciudad Enamorado, it doesn't really have a winter here, but it does still get cold. Your Sims are still gonna, complain about the cold. So when I saw this fireplace, I went, this would just go too perfect. Maybe I can use this as, another type of room divider from, the kitchen area to the living space. And I'm very proud with the way it turned out. I found this couch from, I think it's, what is that? I think it's Decor to the Max, not 110%, but I'm pretty sure. And it has the animal print, and we got a ton of animal print swatches with Love Struck. And even though I don't use the animal print swatches in this build, it's kind of like an ode to that. And I finally get to use this bearskin rug. I never thought I'd use it like I wanted to, but I'm thinking like, oh, well, that would go more fitting in like a log cabin or something. But I said, you know what, since we're kind of going on the wild side with this decor, let's go for it. So I put that bearskin rug down. I end up taking away some of the curtains that I just put up in the bed area, because I ended up covering all the beautiful wallpaper that I just put that came with Love Struck. It was just like an idea I was working with, and then I went, you know what, no, it doesn't work. So it's a small house, but it's definitely beautiful. It's definitely decorated really nice, and I decided to put the tiles that came with Love Struck, in that little area of the kitchen. And I make this little corner a bar section, just to kind of add something else, but also with this scenario of having, someone that owns a restaurant, that they would probably also have a bar in their restaurant, and, maybe show off, their mixology skills. So I do away with those curtains, and I decide to use these pieces of wall decor, that look like little beads hanging down. And I just size these 3 pieces up so that they, kind of go and cover all of these 4 windows. And I finally used the plushie. I finally found the plushie. I couldn't find the plushie for a long time. And yeah, it finally popped up, and I said, I'm going to use that in my next build. But I really like the calm pink with the teal. I unfortunately have used this a lot. Maybe I need to get a little, different in my decor, but I really love the teal swatch with, the pink or the vibrant orange. It's so, I just like it appeals to me. So working on this bathroom space, I wanted it to have everything, because it is pretty small, but I wanted this area to feel pretty open and, real romantic. And I decided to add this really cool element that I've never done before, and it was one of those random things while I was building. I said, you know what, I've got to add that. And this is from Jungle Adventure. So when I start working on the shower, I decided to put up these little stone pieces that go into the wall. And of course I had to, do some resizing so that it would all fit. But after I was done, I went, oh, this is perfect. And I put this like little stone bench down from Spa Day. And I'm in love with the way this shower area turned out. So up at the top, I did like resize the stones just so, it all fits in perfectly. And I drag these other stones down using tulle, and I realized it was kind of a little bit too dark, so I'm just coloring them, making them a lighter swatch color. And yeah, that is the bathroom. I'm so proud of it. So I kind of decided while I was putting these vents on the roof, we need a space to go up to the rooftop for, our lovers to stargaze. So I add this, kind of hidden little trellis, ladder, and create like a little space where they can stargaze. And I use the blanket, and I just put some flowers down and, some wine. And yeah, it was really cute. I put the little guitar up there. And I'm just finishing up the outside of the house, and I'm enclosing this area off with the same fence so that it just all goes together, and filling up the space with greenery so it doesn't look so out of place and just kind of, flows into each other. I love the way the open window like just goes into the living room and you can see that lamp. It feels so realistic to me. But we are at the end of this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the screenshots. And until next time, have a good one.